Welcome to Bets on the Future, where we highlight the various career paths in the electrifying metals world. From the vehicle you ride in to the bridge holding it up, metals are everywhere. Why not in your career too? I'm Jennifer Betts, a metals industry veteran with almost 20 years experience, here to highlight these incredible career paths as told by the women who are living them. Welcome to a surprise bonus episode with Christine Saavedra from SA Recycling. The optimistic metals recycling rockstar hopped on for a second round to expand on our initial conversation. She's incredibly inspiring, and I hope you walk away charged up for your next challenge. Since you've been in the industry a few years, and you've had what seems like a really wonderful experience, are there any lessons or pieces of advice that you would give to your younger self starting out in the metals industry?
I would say don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to speak up. Don't feel like you're out of place, because if you're there, there's a reason you're there. And I talk to students at the high school where my sons go to, and it's 97% Hispanic, the city. These kids go on to university in New York, Boston, all over the country. And I tell them, you know, what you see in Pico, it might be a culture shock to where you're going, but don't ever feel left out. Don't ever feel like you're less. You earned your place here. There's a reason you're here, and just keep doing what you're doing. So I think that yesterday I was talking to somebody about imposter syndrome, right? And that's a really big thing, because we get to these levels where we just want to push ourselves to the brink and think, maybe I'm not doing enough. And no matter how well you're doing, you don't see it in your mind. It's just something that you're doing. It's not anything out of the ordinary. It's not anything that nobody else is not doing, but it really is sometimes. So I think that especially for women, when we go to these boardrooms, when we speak up, when we advocate, when we bring another woman along, you know, it's something that we need to do until that becomes normal. I will have to say, you know, as far as the company that I work for, we have, I think the industry, in the recyclable materials industry, it's like 81. I saw a study, it was 81.6% male dominated. But if you look at SA, if you look at the directors, I mean, we have a director of finance, Sandy Brooks. She's also the vice president for the West Coast chapter. I mean, our director of HR, which she is amazing, phenomenal. Her name is Yvette Huerta. She, another director of finance, which is Jocelyn. And then we have a lot of, just in this area, in the LA area, we have, you know, general managers like Angela, Maribel, and they're all women. And you see a lot of women in leadership roles. So I think that's really important. And it just shows, because the male, it's, you know, heavily male dominated. The numbers are so high, but the leadership roles, there's a lot of women in leadership roles. And I don't want to leave out Joanna, because if this makes the interview cut, she will be mad at me. She is Brazilian, so she's a little spicy. She'll tell you that.
So I definitely need to leave this part in.
Yeah, I just, I am thankful for all the opportunities that we are given. And I'm thankful for the opportunities that this company has given to anybody that's willing to work, you know? And so, but I do see across the board, you know, I've been to a lot of meetings, or when I decided to run for city council, I always remember this. Somebody asked me, what about your kids? And I looked and I said, if I was a man, they wouldn't be asking me this.
100%.
This would never pop up. But I just said, my kids are first and foremost what's going to be taken care of. Everything else comes second. So my kids are doing great. They're doing well in school, you know. They participate a lot. One of them just got an award at the school district for his participation, and so it's good. You know, it's good to see them. They are growing. They're 16 and 17, so Going to be almost
Yeah.
out of there pretty soon. Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to blink and I'm going to be in your shoes, and it's going to be
That's
like, what happened?
That's exactly what happens. That's exactly what happens.
I saw a US Department of Labor statistic the other day that showed that 76.4% of women aged 25 to 55, I believe, participate in the labor force. So when you are telling me that 81% of the recycled materials industry is male dominated, I just think about all the potential employees, experts that could partake in this industry that companies are missing out on. And when you hear about SA and the diversity and inclusion that they're working on, and obviously they are not just talking, they are walking the talk. Look at SA's financials. Look at what SA has done in the past 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. That company has seen their workforce, not from necessarily a gender standpoint, but as a who's going to be the best for the job, the opportunity, who has that attitude, who's willing to work. And they're not saying, oh, we should just hire what we've always hired. We're going to give other individuals chances. And it's showing in their bottom line. 130 yards, you said?
Yeah. I think it's 134.
134
like
yards. For those that are not familiar with the scrap world, think of it like this. You have a business and you have one location. Maybe you have a restaurant, or maybe you have a clothing store. You would be so successful to the point where you would have 134 locations. That's to put it into scale, that you would have 134 restaurants, 134 clothing locations across the United States. That's the kind of level of operations that SA brings to the table. And diversity is a part of that. Absolutely a part of that story.
Yeah, I definitely think it also helps that SA is a very bottom up company. Mm-hmm. So we have not just 134 locations, we have 134 different ways and different ideas of how to get the job done. So you learn from other people. We have a lot of the people that are in locations are cross-trained. They'll send people from here to there. There's no, like we were talking about the open door, there's no, oh, no, I don't know. Everyone is welcome. We have people from other yards, let me see your yard. I would like to know what you're doing over there, what I can learn. And I think that is one of the biggest catalysts to success, is just to always keep that open mind, to keep learning every day, because you can't shut your blinders or, just think, oh, because he's just the guy that sweeps. He won't know. But yeah, he actually might know more than you, or can do the job better. And you just don't know that. You have to talk to people, and you have to listen. And a part of listening, and I was just talking to somebody else about that too, part of listening is also circling back. So providing feedback to say, not just did I listen to you, I processed it, here's what we're gonna do. Because maybe we can't try all these new ideas out, right? But there's a lot of stuff out there that we definitely can, or maybe we had never thought about it in that way.
That's a good transition to ask you what some of the biggest challenges have been that you faced in your career and how you overcame them. Because it sounds like SA looks at the different yards, the different people that they have in their organizations, and look at it as an opportunity to learn from each other. And so it's probably in that mindset that you have attacked some of the challenges in a similar fashion.
I think that one of the biggest things is actually I do a lot of the community outreach for this area, for LA. So I go out and I speak to people a lot. And I know I don't look as young as I used to a few years ago, but a lot of times people think I'm younger than I am, or I don't know any better. I'm, might be just somebody's secretary or whatever, without knowing the backstory of like, no, we work here. Like most of the people that came up, a lot of the people that are, I could say my friends, started on the scale, started outside, started picking, and now they are in management, supervisor positions. And so I think that the toughest part, and going back to it again, right, is the whole imposter syndrome is sometimes you might not feel like you belong in a situation, and you have to be able to assert yourself and advocate for yourself, that just knowing that, yes, you do belong there. There's a reason you're there. And that's probably one of the hardest for me, one of the hardest things to do, because like everybody that knows me, like personally, like they'll tell you, I keep it real, 100. You're not going to get a fake answer from me. You might not get the answer you like, but you're not going to get a fake answer. And so that I feel like that has helped me, because I am thick-skinned. If you're gonna push back, then I can push back too. But that is definitely one of the things that has helped me, I think.
That's fantastic. It's a really great way to look at that. There are many times in my career that I've experienced some similar situations, and you do have to push back. And part of why we're doing this is to showcase and highlight women and their careers and their expertise in this industry, and that the former stereotype that we might be only back office or the secretaries is not true anymore. There are really strong individuals that are in our industry, and they're making change, and they're doing it because they are the experts. They are the best person for the job, hands down.
Definitely. Yeah. So I tell people all the time, I'll introduce myself and I say, yeah, I do the community outreach in, LA or whatever. And then I'll say, but I don't like people. And I've had people look at me like, what? And I'm like, yeah, better stated. I should say, I don't like crowds. I don't like, and it's going to sound crazy, but I don't like attention. I would rather, if I could just fade into the background, that would be awesome. My boss, he's awesome. So QE will always be one to be like, no, wait, it's Christine is the one that did all this. She put this together.
Good.
And I'll be like, it's okay, it's fine. But and I know I should, right? But at the same time, sometimes you just maybe it's just more so I don't like crowds. I don't know. But that has been really hard. And I know that's something I've had to work on. And I mean, here I am, right?
Yes.
Well,
it's wonderful to hear that you've got people in your corner that are going to, if you're not going to speak up and highlight your accomplishments, that they're going to do it too. Yeah. It's something that I try to be more aware of, especially in the past couple of years when, we've been a little bit more online and not as in person, that if I see somebody that has, been talked about in an article, or they've accomplished something and maybe they're not willing to put it out there with their permission, I 100% try to go out of my way to either post about it, tag them, or even just send them a direct message of like, I see what you're doing and I love it. And I just want to say that you're doing fantastic and it's great. And to what I see you working on, you post frequently on LinkedIn, and it feels like you are nonstop, constantly going places, meeting with people, meeting with the community, working on things at SA. And it's really inspiring. It's really quite cool to see what you're working on. So please don't stop.
Thank you.
Don't stop posting. Keep putting it out there.
I see what other people are doing, and I am very appreciative what you're doing, you know, John Sacco with the repurpose, with the pile of scrap. It's just that I think that recycled materials have gotten a bad rap for a long time without realizing how much good we're doing. Like I love Mother Earth. Like this is, you know, we only have one Earth, you know, and so we got to take care of it. And I teach that to my kids and I tell that to people. And I work for a recycling company. It's part of who we are. And so I just feel like we do so much good. We should really get that word out because people don't understand. Or sometimes they'll say, oh yeah, can I take you my bottles? Or do you melt it there? And I'm like, no, we're like on a 1 acre property. There's no way we can melt anything here. That is a challenge, but you know, I think that the metal industry is changing, and I think that this is it's just moving in the right direction so people can understand what we do, and not just us sitting in the back of the room. It's us speaking up and highlighting and showcasing what recycling and recycled materials are all about.
Absolutely. It's wonderful to see the work that you're doing, what SA is doing, what other individuals in the industry are doing to really promote what we've been working on for decades at this point.
Yeah. And you know, technology is only making that easier. So hopefully.
What advice would you have for younger folks or even younger professionals that are interested in starting a career in the metals industry?
I would definitely say to reach out to someone, find a mentor, find someone that can be in your corner, not necessarily have to be a cheerleader for you all the time, but someone that you can bounce ideas off of, that you feel comfortable with. And, you know, they say having a work best friend is the key to a lifetime of happiness in your workplace. So my work best friends are not even at my location, but we're able to connect. You know, I have a problem, text, look, this happened. Oh, I have this customer, what do you think? And so that in itself is like it's a tremendous help, and it's a tremendous resource for anyone, not even just in this industry. I think it's important for people to have that, you know, teachers to have other teachers to bounce ideas off of. I've never worked with any scientists, but scientists to have scientists right in the lab. Or I just feel like anyone that you can connect with and feel that safety and being able to say, I had this crazy idea, do you think this would work? Or that kind of thing is just very necessary.
That's a really wonderful answer, because it relates to any industry, not just the metals industry. And it's something that you're going to use throughout your career. It's not just for younger individuals. Having a mentor throughout your career, or a variety of mentors as your career progresses, it gets a little lonelier as you move along in your career, right? And so it's really wonderful to have those people to bounce ideas off of, to help keep pushing you to grow and move forward in your career.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Well, it was really good to see you.
Nice to see you too. Talk to you soon, and have a good week. What day is today? Wednesday?
Yes.
We're almost there.
Almost there.
All right.
Awesome.
Talk to
All
you.
right.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.